I made over $35,000 trading this month with the prop firm Lucid, and because of that, they decided to call me to a live account. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I did it, and I'm going to show you the steps to take in order to set yourself up to achieve similar results. As always, mentorship and Discord link down in the description below, and if you want to trade with the best prop firm in the industry right now, Lucid is running an insane 50% off all evaluations across the board on their platform. All you have to do is use code DROBO at checkout to get half off of any evaluation. And along with this, because so many of you guys have been using my code with Lucid, they've given me even more accounts to give away. So I'll be giving away another free account at the end of next week. All you have to do is join the Discord in order to enter. Now let's look into how I was able to make over $35,000 in just 4 weeks of trading with Lucid. Okay, so the first thing I want to look at here is right here. You can see all of my accounts are paused, and that's because I'm in the process of being moved to a single live account. The way that this works is with Lucid specifically, but this is how basically all other prop firms do it as well. If you are consistently taking payouts with them, and they notice that you're doing that, they can take your simulated funded accounts and move you over to a single live account where then they carry over some of your profits and you can use that as a drawdown. I don't know exactly what my setup is going to be for my account once I go live with it. I don't have access to the account yet. It's going to take a couple more days for the account to actually get set up and for me to have access to it. So they're in the process of making it right now. But as for right now, this was how my accounts were prior to me getting called to live. So as you can see right here, they're all at $53,693-ish. And that is because the maximum amount of payout you're able to take is $2,000. And in order to pull out $2,000, your account has to be $4,000 in the profit. In other words, you can pull out half of your total profits and then you're allowed to trade with the rest. So my goal for all of these accounts is to get them right around $54,000 in total balance. And then at that point, I can take a full $2,000 payout with all of them. And that's what I've been doing for the past month. So now if we move over to my account details here, you can actually see a little bit more information and you can actually figure out what exactly I'm talking about and actually get to understand my process in order of taking payouts with prop firms. So as you can see right here, these accounts have been active for 16 trading days, which is a very long time. You know, it's not normal for accounts to last this long simply because the way prop firms are designed and the way that they make money is they are meant to be cycled through. They're meant to be blown. So they make it really hard to keep these accounts active for long periods of time. So 16 trading days is definitely not something normal to see here. And going along with this is also the longest that I've ever been able to keep a set of accounts alive. So that's also pretty cool. And then along with this is also the first time I've ever been called to live. So despite me taking well over $200,000 in payouts, I've never been called to live with any prop firm except for Lucid. And it's been due to this one single run that I've been on with this set of accounts right here. So one thing that's really important about my strategy and the reason why I'm able to consistently take payouts is because I get my accounts into the payout range, which for this instance is $4,000. I get my accounts to that range and then I coast for the next couple days in order to farm that payout. Again, the requirements for taking a payout, all you need is 5 days of $150 profit or more. You know, so obviously in this instance, that $4,000 is the or more. And then once I have the full payout locked in with that $4,000 profit, I'm just going to get those $150 days in order to keep taking more and more payouts. So you see my accounts get up to $4,000. They drop down a little bit after I take a payout, and then they slowly get back up to $4,000, and then I take a payout, and then they slowly get back up to $4,000. And the process goes on and on just like that. So if you look at the actual trading graph here, you'll be able to see that as well. You can see it on the 13th, $4,000 profit, and then 160, 160, 280, 150. And then at that point, I take a payout. So I lost half of my account's total balance. And then at that point, I'm able to trade with the rest. And then from there, $900 in a single day is all I need in order to get my account back to $4,000 profit. And then I start the process over of cycling through these $150 profit days until I can take another payout, which happens right here on the 27th. And then I'm $1,500 away from a new payout. So I was able to hit that on this one trading day here. And then we move along to the next day. And again, my accounts were I take a payout right here on the 3rd, and then on the 4th, my accounts got back into the payout range, which is the current P&L that they're at right now, which would have been set up for another payout, which would have been $45,000 on the month. But because they called me to live, I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose all the profits on these accounts, and some of it is going to transfer over to the live account anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter in terms of that. But these accounts were ready for another $10,000 payout as long as I got the remaining $150 days. This would have been another part of the process that I have going on right here, just like I had been doing for the past month or so. And so from this process that I've developed in order to consistently take payouts on prop firms, you can see the results here are I literally just recently started trading with Lucid just last month, and May 11th was my first payout. And then I've taken right around $35,000 in payouts. And now at this point, I have to forfeit my 5 simulated funded accounts, and I'm forced to be taken live at this point. So on one side, it kind of hurts because my entire trading career, all I've ever done is trade simulated funded accounts with the basic prop firm rules similar to what Lucid is doing. So now being moved to a live account, I'm going to be going from 5 accounts being my normal to now only 1. And then on top of that, I'm going from the simulated world into the actual live funded world, which shouldn't be too much different, but there are going to be a little bit more different rules and regulations that I have to follow in terms of Lucid specifically. This is not anything to do with an actual live account. This is just because of the way Lucid's live funded trading works, it's going to be different compared to the 50K flex accounts that I'm used to trading. So it's going to be a little bit different, but again, the name of the game is just trading and making profits on the market. So I'm either going to be able to do that or I'm not going to be able to do that. And everything else is completely out of my control, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to stick to what I know how to do and continue trading that way moving forward. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, what's the strategy that you're actually using in order to make the profits in order to take these payouts? And this actually brings up a very important point. It also brings up a big problem I see with a lot of traders, especially the new ones or the ones that are consistently not taking payout. And this problem is they think their strategy matters a lot more than it actually does, when in reality, having a good strategy for the prop firms themselves and a good strategy in order to take payouts is much more important than your actual trading strategy. The reason why a majority of prop firm traders will never take a payout has nothing to do with their actual trading strategy in itself. And a lot of times the problem has to do with things like contract sizing and the amount of money they're risking and the amount of money they're taking as profit when their trades actually do hit. The vast majority of new and unprofitable traders are too worried about trying to be smart with their accounts and conserving them for as long as possible, when in reality, in order to actually take payouts and to be profitable in terms of trading, you're going to have to take on a decent amount of risk. So my advice to any new or struggling traders in the prop firm scene right now is to consider the math behind prop firms. It's very simple. A 50K flex account costs approximately $80 to $90 across basically all prop firms. A max payout for a majority of prop firms is $2,000 to $3,000. This means you have between 20 to 30 attempts to get one single max payout to make up for all of your losses. And that's really all there is to it. So don't be afraid to take on a significant amount of risk. Don't be afraid to blow your evals. And also don't be afraid to blow your funded accounts. As much as it sucks to blow evals, and it sucks way more to blow a funded account, at the same time, it's all simple math and numbers. And when you take into account the things that actually matter and get rid of the emotions and the psychology of the actual trading experience, depending on the prop firm and depending on what the max payout is, you have 20 to 30 attempts to get that max payout. So don't let blowing one eval or one funded account get in the way of you potentially taking a max payout. So don't be afraid of taking on risk, because with taking on significant amounts of risk comes also the thousands and thousands of dollars of profit that are required in order to take a payout. It's hard to risk basically nothing and get multiple thousands of dollars in profits. However, if you're risking thousands of dollars, it becomes much easier to make thousands of dollars in the process. So that's something to consider. If you're too scared trading your accounts, or if you're trying to make them last forever, this is not conducive of taking payouts, let alone taking consistent payouts. If you want to consistently take payouts, you're gonna have to stop worrying and caring about the individual accounts themselves and start thinking about the big picture, which is going to be your money in versus your payouts. And if your payouts are more than the money you spend, then you're profitable. And it's as simple as that. Everything else just gets in the way of actually taking payouts. This is what I've implemented into my trading in order to take tens of thousands of dollars in payouts per month. And it's something I highly recommend you doing if you are new or struggling in the prop firm scene as of right now.